Hello and welcome back into Anvil Saga, the story of the cutest blacksmith in all the land and our journey into betraying the English, choosing Team France and seeing what happens. At the moment, we are literally just waiting for our smithy to be upgraded. We have got a whole new room that we can put a bedroom into, and we also are waiting on our second room being updated. If you don't know why and what on earth is happening, I don't blame you. I haven't really explained a lot, but why don't you go back and check out part 1. There should be a link popping up on the screen somewhere right about now, so you can check that out and catch up with everything that's happened so far in our journey. But basically, we are a blacksmith. It is a civil war between England and France. In France, we're English, but we're trying to make decisions this time that favour the French, and therefore see what the other outcome can be, because this game is decision-based, and you can change the end of the game based on decisions you make and things that you do. So we have now finished our builds. We have an extra bedroom, and we're just testing out a thing that's popped up here that basically shows us that we can strike down the Holy Church with lightning when they ask us for the money. So I'm quite curious about that one. And we get one of our little visitors almost straight away, and this one made me smile so much because it's Back to the Future, and it's like he's come back in the past and he's looking for things to fuel his time machine. And if you don't get the reference, then I'm sorry, because you probably don't find this as cute and adorable as I do. But whoever designed this game, and I want someday to have a conversation with them, I just want to know how they decided what people they were putting in this game, because it makes me smile every time, and it almost makes me want to go back through and play this game as many times as humanly possible just to see if there's more people. Like, I need a list of all the people, but yeah, I don't want it spoiled for me. So it's like, how do I know if I've met everyone or not? How do I know if all the possible people have visited the smithy and told me? But great Scott! Boy, I'd explain, but he doesn't want to tell us about it yet. But yeah, he visits, we solve his little quest for him, but it makes me so happy, and I love the little story parts that are part of this kind of adventure. At this point, we put to the 2 bedrooms upstairs, and all we're really waiting to do at this point is afford the items we need for the workshop. So anyone who's not familiar, we are looking to get a grinding stone. We are also looking to hopefully hire another member of staff, and really that's just what we're kind of working through. We do have a really good system set up, and we are able with the 2 to quite well manage the smithy, and we're keeping everyone quite happy. The weather's nice, everything seems quite chill, everything's going quite well, and we definitely can afford things. But I'm really working towards the money until we get the lovely witch popping back up, who apparently, because they did make it rain and it made it flood, they unfortunately are now in a little bit of trouble because they went a bit too hard. So they flooded the entire land, and people aren't very happy with them. And now they're asking them to dry it up, and they're asking us to help with them if we can. And they're saying that if we do a good job and we do help them, they're going to enchant our smithy. So of course we accept the order, because we actually really enjoy having the witches on our side. It seems to be really helpful. They've done quite a lot for us since we made friends with the witches. But they do want us to make a metal ram's head, I guess that is. But again, because our smithy's working really, really well, we make it almost straight away. It took no time at all. If you knew how long it takes at the start to do stuff like this. And the smithy is really happy, the witch is really happy, and Arthur's like, hey, I don't want your magic, I just want your money. So they give us the money, and we're happy, and it makes us really rich. And what it does do is it allows us to hire a new member of staff, which makes me very happy, because if we can afford to hire a new member of staff, it does mean that we can potentially have someone who can sharpen things. If you've seen any of the previous playthroughs, we did fall down quite a lot because we couldn't actually do the skill that we developed. So we built the workshop, we spent all the money on it, and then we didn't have anyone who knew how to use the sharpening stone. But as you can see, that staff member had the little skill level next to the sharpening stone, and we hire our 3rd staff member, which I think is pretty cool. It also means, because we did the witch's task, we still have 132 gold left, so we are able to buy part of the items we need in order to make the workshop a workshop. So we do go and buy the grinding stone itself, but we do not have enough money to get the last item, which is a table, unfortunately. because we didn't make enough. So we keep the smithy open, we keep making some money, but now of course we have 3 members of staff, so it is a lot easier, even more so than it already was, to earn that money, and it takes us no time at all until we can pop that table into the workshop and now have a fully functioning forge, smithy, room. Will I ever learn what this place is called? Will I? Who knows, because I don't think I do. This is the time that we decide we have to test what the lightning does, and as you can see, the little priest man gets hit by lightning, which I think is really funny, but also really mean. Like, they didn't do anything wrong, and we just strike them down, which seems a bit rude. We now find out that to sharpen something, we have to have read a book, which leads on to something else that came with the upgrade that I don't think I ever found before in any previous playthroughs, and that is that there's an option to buy called a bookcase, and you need to be able to afford the bookcase. So once again, we go on a mission, and we get our lovely friend Vlad the Barber coming back to let us know that they've opened the barber shop, and they need something that can be seen, and they want a sign for it, and it gives us an option, which is one of the reasons I love this game. We get to choose what kind of option we want, and we make the option here that we're going to choose a dentist sign for him, because if you met Vlad in the early ones, Vlad's got a real knack for teeth, and he's really good at it. So we decide, let's force him down the dentistry route, because that's really where his expertise lie. He's not convinced. He's a bit worried about it and a bit nervous about what we're going to do, but he does pick up the sign, and he's hoping people will be attracted by it, and he takes it off and he runs away with it. And all the time we've got these 3 people working in our smithy. We've got some people sleeping, we're getting some jobs done, we're actually able to make some money, and we do have a bookcase, but it doesn't have any books in it. So we then go out and buy pretty much one of every book because we had the money to do so. So we add all the books that we can afford, we place it in, and we get them delivered to us by the merchant, and all the while we're just doing through our little missions. And then a French soldier arrives. Duke Decolo personally sent us to thank you, because this time the French won the war. So it does prove that whichever side you make the swords for early on, when they give us the choice, that is the people that are going to win the war, and therefore they're the ones that are going to throw the fair, and they're the ones that are going to have all the party and all the celebrations. So it is very clear that that decision might be like one of the most crucial decisions in the game, and it does mean hopefully that our apprentice is going to stay put, because we have been abandoned by our apprentice before because we weren't very good people, and we did do the mean thing, and we did go off and help the English. And then we get Don Jark visiting us, who needs a sword, and Arthur very wrongly asks if it's for a dad or brother, and I'm offended on Don Jark's behalf, because Arthur, we thought you were better than this. We thought you were a true, sweet, lonely, kind, cute little blacksmith. There's no need for sexism. Even in the Middle Ages, women could surely wield swords and kill people just as well as the rest of them. But we do make the decision to accept the order because we're not sexist, and we do believe that Don Jark is just as entitled to a sword as anybody else. And obviously, because that's where we are now, it will need sharpening. So therefore we do need Elsa to be able to do the sharpening job. So we have made her read the book that she got from the smithy, that we got from the merchant, and she is now happily doing her business. You'll also notice, if you were paying attention, that the lovely and amazing Vlad came back to do an order for teeth. So he's obviously a regular customer for us now. And we get John's sword done in absolutely no time, because we are the smoothing running smithy this side of the Seine. That's a France joke, because I know my stuff. But yeah, basically, I check out, and you can see the English pretty much don't like us at all. The French are really happy with us, and the church and the witches couldn't be happier with us. So we've really done our job here. We have definitely betrayed the English. We're very much not in the English favour. We're also not in the bandit favour, but we weren't really expecting to, because we do just turn their jobs down as often as humanly possible. Finley now pops up. So Finley is the father of a woman that we quite like, and Finley asks us to make the job for us and to make some of his tools. Again, this is something we've done a couple of times. It doesn't really change. It doesn't seem to matter that we're Team France now. Finley just wants the equipment made for the peasants, and he wants it made as quickly as possible. However, because our smithy, Arthur, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do you just a disservice, but because our smithy is in such good stead, we are in the position to make sharper tools, because we have a grindstone now and we can actually sharpen up our tools. However, it does cost us quite a lot of resources. So every single item costs 7 resources to make, which is a lot more than it was last time. And I'm not 100% sure it's worth it. Olivia comes along. Now, Olivia is the love interest of Arthur. Olivia and Arthur knew each other when they were younger. Arthur's been hoping to impress, but Olivia's come back. But Olivia's not very happy because her dad's actually a bit of a con man, and he's going to sell the stuff that he's asked us to make at cost price. And we are like, oh my God, Olivia, we would never let you down like that. So we make a promise to Olivia that we will actually help her out, even though she has no money and she can't pay us. But all we care about is that Olivia likes us. Let's be 100% honest. So we make the tools for free, and this time, unlike last time, hopefully we're going to be able to complete it because we do have such a better smithy. As you can see, Finley returns to collect his sharpened tools, and it's the best you can find. Sharpen the plows better than a sword. The peasants should be very eager to buy them, and we get told that Oscar would have been proud of us, and we want Olivia to know we said hello, and Finley seems really happy with us, so hopefully Finley would maybe like approve of us this time. We also managed to complete Olivia's order, so Olivia comes back to collect their order, and Olivia's all happy because we've made all the plows and all the equipment that we can give to the poor peasants, and Olivia's all like chill about it, and is like, Arthur, how about the tools I promised the peasants? And he's like, oh, I had to put a bit of effort into it, but it was a noble cause and you deserve the effort. And she's like, I'm so grateful, thank you. And it's just like, they're gonna be in love, they're gonna be in love. The Holy Church returns. Obviously we pay our peasants, but then the witch comes along and she needs to hide. So she's asking us if we will hide her inside the smithy because the monks want to burn her at the stake, because apparently she can't make it to the woods and they're not very happy with her behaviour. So we agree to hide her because we have no bad blood with the witches. The witches have done us well. We actually really enjoy the witches. The witches seem to have done us favours, and being their friend seems to help. So further Bernard, also the guy that we like we had no problem with him either, but he calls the witch uglier than the devil themselves, which is just unfair. But apparently what she'd done is try to make the beer stronger, and she put some kind of poison in it, which isn't very nice. But I mean, it was a witch. Why would a monk go to a witch? But we agreed not to betray the witch because we made a deal with the witch. We told her she could hide. We let her into our little land, and we tell her that we're happy for her to stay. And Father Bernard goes off, seemingly none the wiser that we have the witch hiding. So it does seem as though we have done the right thing. And the witch says thank you and gives us the gold for hiding us, and also places a protective spell on our smithy. After a little while, we do get the Baron popping up, who lets us know that we're happy that the French won. Changed his tale a little bit from last time when he was extremely happy that the English won. But he wants us to engrave the sword. As always, this doesn't change. He's a bit of a dick about it and kind of makes us feel like we're stupid just because we said, oh, I think I made that sword. So yeah, we don't like the Baron. If that is not coming across in my tone, I am sorry. But we don't like the Baron, okay? The Baron is rude to Arthur, treats him like he's so much less than him. And really, Arthur's never done anything wrong to the Baron, and it's not fair the way that he's treated. However, the good news is, because we now have a working smithy, we can actually sharpen the sword and we get it back to the Baron in no time at all. But the Baron won't tell us who it's for, even though we know. And then we get some little visitors to our smithy, which is the lovely Frank, who's heading into a dark cave, and they want someone to go with them. And we thought maybe they wanted some swords and weapons, but apparently Stephen says they just need another member for the party. Now, their names are interesting, but their outfits give away who they are, right? Like, you all know who they're meant to be. And we need to send an apprentice, so obviously we send Theris, but it gives us an option whether we want to send him with a helmet or without. We choose to protect Theris because I didn't know what he was going to encounter in the cave, and I was like, Theris is cool, I've got you. I'm going to send you with a helmet, you're going to be successful, everything is going to be fine. Arthur doesn't trust them enough to go, but we'll send Theris on his way. Now, probably this was a mean thing to do, and it did make me really nervous because, like, Theris left us last time, and I really didn't want Theris to leave us this time. But we made the helmet, we pushed the helmet on Theris's head, and Theris doesn't like it either. Theris is not happy to be going, but Theris does thankfully return. We mock and ask if they fulfilled the prophecy. And Theris tells us that they led him into a cave and hit him over the head. But thankfully, because he was wearing a helmet, the clubs they hit him with just broke over his head. And thankfully, Theris managed to steal their gold. But I wasn't expecting that. Betrayal. Absolute betrayal from the little people that came to visit. Jean-Jacques then comes, and as we know, we've had this before, Jean-Jacques is our enemy. He's our enemy, we don't like him. Somebody in my comment section once said that he looks like he's always constipated when he's angry, and now that's all I can see is, like, constipated Jean-Jacques. But I'm sorry, it is kind of what his face looks like sometimes. And he's here to challenge us to a Smithy battle at the Grand Fair. And this time, because our Smithy's going so well, I'm not going to lie, it was like, oh, you'll lose 500 gold. And I was like, I have 500 gold. I can actually afford this. So I just accept it. I mean, I didn't have 500 gold. I had 390. But it took me no time at all, really, to get to it. And then we get another visitor, a meticulous Englishman, who is apparently trying to stop the mysterious disappearances of chickens, because the chickens are disappearing and we need to make him a magnifying glass so that he can solve the case of the disappearing chickens, which is funny and brilliant. And again, just like, who makes the list? Like, how do you decide what references you're gonna do and who's gonna come visit the Smithy? But it does make me really happy. And the Englishman returns to pick up his magnifying glass after no time at all. I really want to know though, if you've played this game, if you've played any of this game at all, has anyone visited your Smithy that I haven't shown visiting? Because I really want to know who else is there. But also I don't want to know because I don't want to have it spoiled for me, but I feel like I'm missing people. So maybe just tell me there's more and I'll go back and play it. I don't know. I need to know, are there more? Do I need to play this again? We get ready for the fair. We're very happy with our fair because we've raised the 500. We also have 3 staff, including Arthur. So we feel quite well prepared. The only thing that really annoys me, by the way, is when we get to the fair, we're not allowed to use our own staff, which I think is really weird. We have to use the Baron's nephew, which is just all really odd. But essentially, the Baron's here, he's kissing up to the French, which we know he's just a hypocrite because he was kissing up to the English last time. This man is fickle. He's just fickle. All he cared about is whoever won, that he would suck up to them. And obviously that's what's been proven. The French tell us to enjoy our day and crack on. We've obviously got a really good Smithy, so I'm pretty hopeful that we're going to do really well in this. But yeah, this is where he's like, oh yeah, here you go, you can have my nephew. And it's like, excuse me, what? Like, I have 2 fully trained staff that I made read books and learn how to Smithy and experience themselves up so that they were really quick and did everything really fast. I didn't get Arthur skilled in the blacksmithing skills because I let his apprentices do it. Arthur spent his entire time down in the mine. So it's a little bit of a low blow and I didn't really understand that that was going to happen and I'm not very happy about it. But Arthur does crack on pretty quickly and we have Sebastian, the nephew, helping us out. And as you can see, it went pretty well. Nothing really that spectacularly different to the previous playthroughs happened. You just had to solve the quests. We were leading 51 to 36. We were pretty much smashing it. We had a very, very efficient team going. We could do anything that the team asked of us. We did fail a few jobs because in the end we just took on too many jobs. But we finish up the round 54 points to 36 and the Baron does declare us the winner. We get the gold, which obviously the gameplay kind of ends here, so we don't get to spend the gold, but it is cool. And then we get the new end scenes showing the Baron getting on well with the Duke. Arthur and Olivia happily danced all evening. What will the future hold for them? I mean, that's what I want to know. Jean-Jacques being mad and frustrated because his money and his connections did not help him get anything. No Olivia, no winning of the competition. And then you get Olivia's father, who's chilling out and happy with his daughter's decision because Arthur turns out to be a pretty good guy. Does that mean that they're getting together? Like, they've got the little headbands on. Like, is this a wedding or a fair? Like, because I was trying to decide. Are we meant to think that they're, like, happily married? Like, I have no idea. If you enjoyed this and haven't seen the previous videos, I will put them up on the screen here. You can click on them and watch through what else happens if you choose differently. And if not, I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye!